So good morning everyone and welcome. It's great to see so many people here on such a beautiful Sydney morning. Really the purpose of today is to talk about growth.
Growth Talks has been really different to the way that we traditionally do our presentations. I think it's been a lot more dynamic with the way that we've interacted with our clients, the setup of the room.
All of the topics that we were talking about are topics that we know are real and they are pressing on organisations right now. But rather than it be any sort of lecture style format, we've actually invited people who we know are passionate about these topics to engage in a dialogue.
Being digital is much more about thinking about digital across every aspect of the business.
If businesses are really serious about doing digital, it needs to be part of their plan, it needs to be part of their purpose, and it needs to be coming from the top down.
There's absolutely an evolution rather than a transformation, and that's because a transformation implies a start and an end point.
You know, certainly we've had people in the room that represent the property industry, the construction industry, key stakeholders, and ultimately this is about making Australia and Sydney a better place to live.
Every suburb had a full cross-section of our society in it. There was affordable housing in every community. And I think we need to go back to that. We need to stop building communities that only have a particular type of person living there who can afford to stay there. I think that's wrong.
So the interesting thing about the room is it probably doesn't affect the people in the room directly, but it affects the people they're trying to attract to their firms, it affects their families and friends, and it affects their communities.
I think it's about some broader issues that exercise in the minds of a lot of people. They picked up the fact that the politicians worried about it. It's long term. That was one of the real takeouts that came from the session. No simple answers.
Matt and I just had a great session on purpose. We talked about what was different with purpose and the fact that you need to align it across all of your key stakeholders, be they customers, employees, shareholders.
It must be embedded within what companies are doing if it's going to be meaningful. They've got to think about the long-term trajectory of the companies and not just short-term profits over long-term success.
I think the things that excited us the most are people are really engaged on the topic.
So people get it in terms of what they need to do, acknowledgement of the execution challenges around that.
Definitely a recognition that there is a need to act and a need to act now. The future of work is going to materially change. The whole point of it is it's happening. We need to take action. We need to start now. And our call to action with the group was, one, to take that action, but two, we invited the group to think about three areas.
Think about learn, adapt and lead, and think about three things we can do to improve each of those. Then we'll automatically be a better business. So that for me was just an instant aha moment. We don't know all the answers, it's just where do we start?